August 29th, 2015, Danish National Kayak Championship. These are the top 4 competitors in the rolling competition. All right, things start happening fast here. David, top right of your screen, does qattaarneq, the side skull on the right side and the left side. Next move, qattaarneq, the chest skull. He sets up for the standard roll. He has forgotten the chest skull. Judge is trying to get his attention to give him a chance to correct the mistake. But it appears that David is just going to keep on pushing ahead. It means he'll be forfeiting 4 points, but at the moment he's in the lead with 11. Each of these experts can be expected to hit 300 before this is over, but time is a factor. Looking down at the lower left of your screen, Leah finishes the standard roll. Next up is the elbow crook, but no, she does the storm roll. Mental error is just as much a factor as physical mistakes. Judge is going to get her attention and give her a chance to correct that error, but she'll lose some time. She does have a written list on the deck of her kayak which she's allowed to refer to, but you'll notice that some of the other competitors do not. They're going completely from memory. It is allowed to pause after each move and let the judge tell you what the next one is, but of course that takes some time. On the lower right, Christian, reverse sweep roll, 3 points on a side. He blends one side right into the other, nice and smooth. That brings him up to 30 points, even with Jan David. On the top right, David 4 points behind, but continuing nonetheless with Alia Mishrugu, the spine roll. In the lineup, we have clockwise from the top right, David Techner, from the Kayak Hotel in Copenhagen, last year's men's champion. Below him, Christian Andersen, also from Kayak Hotel, last year's second place finisher. In the lower left, Leah Lettergreen, last year's women's champion from the town of Odense. And on the top left, we have Jan David Jensen from Norway, competing for the first time in Denmark. In Greenland, the rolling competitors have 30 minutes to go through all the maneuvers. This year in Denmark, they're trying something new. They've shortened it to 15 minutes for the whole routine. And perhaps feeling that time pressure, we've seen these experts make a few errors already. On the top left, Jan David does not seem to be having any difficulties. He goes from the left side directly to the right side and immediately sets up for the shotgun roll, putting him in the lead. The 3 men here are quite evenly matched. And as we get into the higher point value maneuvers, missing one thing could very well eliminate someone from first place. On the top left, Jan David starts into the sculling rolls. These are easy to miss or skip if you haven't been practicing. He's doing on both sides, and that will keep him in the lead with 72 points. On the lower right, Christian, the only one seen here with a plastic kayak, not as commonly used among the experts, but it doesn't seem to be slowing him down. On the top left, Jan David using a skin-on frame that he built specifically for rolling. He's doing qattaarneq, behind the back sculling roll, 85, but the judge is going to stop him there. This could be an error. The judge would like to see it again to make sure he was doing the full sculling and not just one sweep to come up. So losing a little momentum there. We'll look at Christian, lower right. qattaarneq. And he is clearly sculling with the paddle back and forth, so no complaints for the judge, giving him 85, tied for the lead. Top left, Jan David doing that roll. qattaarneq again for the judge. The judge is going to give him the full 5 points. No points off. It was just a clarification for the judge on the second try. So Jan David still has a perfect score. On the lower right, Christian holding a tight lead with a cross arm roll. 5 points takes him to 95. And the other side, and he is first to hit 100 points. Jan David right behind him with a cross arm roll. 5 points on one side, straight to the other side. That'll take him up to 100. On the lower left, Leah, only 72 points, but not out of the race. That's actually a perfect score. She hasn't missed anything. All she has to do is not run out of time, and she's still a contender. On the top left, Jan David under the whole sculling roll, making it look really easy. Even with Christian at 110. That'll bring up speed rolls, 10-second test. 3 is the minimum, 4 or 5 is very good. Now you have to have absolutely perfect technique to hit 6. Christian starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, but that's after the clock is stopped. 5 points for Christian. Jan David has started when he's got 2, 3, 4, with time 8 seconds, 5, that's it. 5 points, matching Christian, they're even. All right, here's a chance to take a little bit of an edge if possible. Can anybody do 6? David starts with the storm rolls. Christian below him is doing standard rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Christian has the 5th one, and that's all he's got, 5. Well, David has 5 as well. Leah in the lower left with a cross arm roll takes her from 95 up for 5 points, and that gets her 100 points. Top left, Jan David on the speed standard rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking good, 8 seconds, and 6, he did it. David on the right is at 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. 7th one is after the clock, but he matched Jan David 6 for 6. Incredible. On the lower left, Leah doing the storm speed rolls, and she stops at 4. As the others set up for the qattaarneq roll, Leah still has layback speed rolls to do. And going a little bit slower. 3 and 4, taking it easy. Wonder how dizzy the guys got doing that. During all that excitement, we didn't notice that Leah actually skipped the under the hull sculling roll. Not sure if that was deliberate or accidental. Now all the men are on the same roll here, so we can see that it is very close because Christian only hit 5 of those speed standard rolls. He is only 3 points ahead of David now, and 1 point behind Jan David, who holds a very narrow lead. The Kastrup Kayak Club is located right next to the Copenhagen airport, and we have an Air Greenland jet on the horizon, a little touch of Greenland there. Christian at 1:30 in the lead temporarily until Jan David completes his qattaarneq roll on the second side. Now you would think that as good as these guys are, the Norsok hand rolls would be pretty much a given, and the only chance to miss anything was when they get to the fist and the brick. But they still have to do these easier ones. And one little mistake here can make all the difference. Maximum possible score is somewhere in the vicinity of 360 points, although it depends how long you can hold your breath. And they will not be doing qattaarneq, the walrus pull, as is done in Greenland. It adds a few logistical complications, and it's a bit dangerous. On the lower right, Christian finishing all the Norsok rolls, starting on the hand rolls. And you may not have noticed, when he had the qattaarneq taken off, he got rid of his paddle as well. So he's got deck with just the Norsok on it. Must be some kind of trend, because David and Leah seem to have done the same thing. Christian at 200 points. Top left, Jan David 174. Watch how fast he closes the gap here. 7 points per hand roll. That won't take long. Checking on the clock for Christian. He has 7 minutes left. Lots of time. A little upset there. Jan David is caught up to Christian. Pulled a point ahead of him. They're on the fist roll, 8 points each side. Christian back in the lead again, 216. Now if they're going to miss something, here's where it may well happen. Forward-ending fist rolls are actually harder than the brick rolls, unless they're using a very heavy brick, which is not the case here. Now watch David, the top right. I'll suck the kushlu kingu kut. Couple little extra motions with that hand. He shakes his head. He knows that wasn't a really smooth roll, but he's getting the full 8 points for it. I'd have taken a point off, but it's not my decision to make. As you see in the lower right, there's the judging table. They are calling the shots. And checking the overall scores, we still have Jan David with a 1 point edge over Christian. This could be a close finish. Taking a look at the clock, he's got 6 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. We'll have to take the limit down to 10 minutes to make it challenging for him. On the top right, David already on the brick, pulls into the lead. Front to front, no problem. Back to front for another 9 points. Lower left, Leah. Back to front fist roll. Not there. That'll cost her at least 1 point if she gets it on the second try. Top right, David is closing in on 300 points. And one more brick roll, he's got it. On the top left, Jan David is 50 points behind David. How did that happen? Well, he's got the brick in his hand, and we know he can string these together rapid fire. So here goes. Jan David, 257. Christian gets his 300. Meanwhile, top right, David doing the elbow roll. Qattaarneq pukusuk patishlugu. Both sides, pretty easy for him. That's 20 points. That puts him at 327 in the lead, and he's up to the straightjacket roll. He declines to the disappointment of the crowd. Jan David top left, still going to the brick roll. There's his 300, no problem. And the final one, 311. Bottom right, Christian, 310 points. He's got elbow rolls to do. And on this side, comes up. Pull that hand away a little quickly, but he's going to get credit for that. Other side, 330. And now he's got a chance to do the straightjacket roll, the hardest roll on the list. But he's going to pass. Asking for his paddle back to paddle upside down. Jan David top left, elbow roll. Easily done. And on the other side, piece of cake. 331, still that 1 point ahead of Christian. Jan David, top left, is going for the straightjacket roll. Yeah, if he makes this 11 points, it is all over. Is not going to happen. You rarely see that made even in Greenland. Second try, Jan David is still not going to do it. On the lower left, Leah has quietly been doing all 6 of the brick rolls successfully on the first try. And that takes her very close to 300. And the other 3 are setting up for qattaarneq, paddling upside down for distance, which is basically a contest to see how long you can hold your breath as well as paddle in a straight line. Leah passes 300. No surprise there. And one more elbow roll takes her to 317. And Leah is going for the straightjacket roll, 11 points aside. This would put her at 339, solid lead. She could win it all right here. Come on, asut, 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 asut. Ah, so close. That's all right, it's not over. She's allowed a second try for 1 point less. She's still in the game here. All right, come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Ah. All right, this is it. Last maneuver, paddling upside down. The first 3 meters gets you a point. Every 2 meters after that gets you 1 point. David is 3 meters. That's 1 point. The crowd is getting into it. Top score with the green numbers. Christian at 331. Even with David. Passes David 332. Can he hold that lead? 333. 334. 335. David on the top right is closing that gap to 1 point away from Jan David. Christian 337 looking good, 338. Jan David is right on his tail. Watch that orange kayak, 339, still in the lead. Oh, but he's out of air, he's up. Jan David catches him at 339 and passes him at 340 in the clear. David 338 can't hold on, he's up. What a photo finish. Jan David, the final winning score, 342. Staying 3 points ahead of Christian with one more speed roll and 3 more meters upside down. David with 338 had the speed roll, had the distance, but forgot to do those chest sculls. And so the 2015 Danish National Kayak Championship rolling competition is won by the Norwegian. That certainly calls for a rematch. And if you're training for next year, the way to beat these guys is qattaarneq.